Hello, everyone. It's Chris with Expat Theory. Oh, we're going to jump into a little bit of a discussion here. Don't know if you guys have been seeing the news and about this. What's this knucklehead, Andrew Tate or whatever? Oh, this guy. He's run his mouth. He's said a lot of dumb things. He's done a lot of dumb things. He's ticked off a lot of people. Then he got himself caught overseas in the company of a number of adult workers, and at least one or more of them has made the big R claim. Was it my friend from Better Bachelor calls it the snuggle struggle? So he's in trouble. Of course, he's an American abroad, setting a wonderful example for the rest of us. Thanks, jackass. That kicks into also what we're experiencing more, especially on YouTube and other places. We're starting to see more about the passport bros. For some reason, it's a little bit more of a hot topic within the black community. Apparently, it's being frowned upon more so over there, that these guys are, getting their passports and going abroad to find love and relationships and possibly marriage. Finding more traditional women, and that is very much frowned upon. They're not happy about it. Our society and culture has really come on strongly with attacking us men. Everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that makes us males is being labeled as toxic masculinity, So they're attacking us harshly. And the system was already slanting against us over the years. And it's gotten even worse now. Equality, the whole feminism thing was supposed to be equality. You guys left that in the dust a long time ago. Yeah. Now it's preferential. And sadly, it's become so bad now that there are just a lot of people, a lot of men especially, who are not really interested in the dating and relationships with Western women and women of this feminist type ideology. So finding a partner that might be more of the conservative, traditional gender roles, the man brings home the bacon and the woman takes care of the house and cooks the bacon, that's offensive to them. Any woman, especially an American woman that wants to be a housewife and stay home, you better duck, dodge, and hide, baby, because they're coming after you. They're claiming you're brainwashed and there's something wrong with you, or you're just subject to the patriarchy, and it's ridiculous. But overseas, those roles are still alive and well and typical. So for a guy who kind of wants something more like that, looking overseas is a great opportunity. But that takes away from them being little simps and playing the games of the women that are here. They don't like that. They don't like that men are walking away and going somewhere else and finding happiness. Can't have that. Oh no. They're going to attack that. And attacking that, they're doing it heavily. They're turning it and twisting it into something that it's not. Simply because somebody wants to find something that makes them happy. It's not acceptable. So they're starting to label, as a minimum, if you go overseas, you are a sex tourist. As a minimum. But now they're pushing that you're a human trafficker and or possibly a pedophile because you're going over there to exploit women and children in a foreign country where it's easier to get away with. That's one of their attacks. Mostly it's the human trafficking, but I have heard the pedophile thing a couple times too. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And it's just another attack on men. And it's ridiculous. They can't stand it that some of these guys have actually figured out that what they're looking for, what makes them happy, is something more traditional, and they can find that elsewhere, where it's a lot more difficult to find here. And the attitude and culture here is not favorable towards men, as where they go overseas, and it's a lot more favorable. Even an older guy like myself, I'm a world traveler. I've been outside of the United States. I've got experience. I've built my money up. I've got my own financial security. I'm actually viewed as a quality male, someone they might be interested in dating or, getting into a relationship. As where here, I'm considered bottom of the barrel. So it makes sense that some of these guys go overseas and look for what kind of a situation they're looking for to make themselves happy with, dating and relationships. So, but it bleeds over on me when they start talking about this stuff because, I've been talking about this for years. And now, because I want to be an expat, all of a sudden I'm kind of being lumped in with these sex tourists and human traffickers and all this other stuff. It's disgusting. And I'm going to take a second here and talk about this whole human trafficking thing. And I know I have at least one cousin. She watches this. She's not probably going to be very happy because she's a big champion for ending human trafficking. And I totally support that, so don't get me wrong. There is a small demographic out there where adult work is human trafficking. And that's by definition people that are, being forced into these services. A lot of times there's drugs involved or alcohol or coercion or violence and, all these things that are forcing these people to basically be slaves and provide sexual services and things like that. That is absolutely human trafficking. Nail those guys to the wall. I have no problems with it whatsoever. However, under current culture, they are hyperinflating that definition to completely ignore the circumstances of the adult services provider. But any person that actually pays for those services now is human trafficking. Something that used to be a misdemeanor, slap on the wrist, not a big deal, now turns into a felony. They're looking at prison time and ruin for the rest of their life. I'm sorry, but there's a reason why it's the oldest profession. It's been around forever. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't never gonna stop. Not everybody is being forced into it. They make their own choices. They may have addictions or whatever that they need to take care of, and they need to earn money to support that. But that does not make the customer automatically a human trafficker. And that's not fair to put the choices of the provider into a felony category for the person who hires them. It's just wrong. I put it on the same category as weed. I'm sorry, but the whole oldest profession and weed are the same thing in my book. Legalize it and tax the crap out of it like you do everything else. You would eliminate a lot of problems. You would eliminate a lot of laws and issues that we're dealing with. You would be able to release a lot of people from jail that don't need to be there. Should have never been there in the first place or something stupid like that. And overall, you'd probably drop the crime rate. And you'd raise revenue for the government. So it's a win-win-win-win. Stupid not to do it. But it's another attack on men. Because the majority of the customers are men. So it's an easy way to attack men because they're exploiting women because they paid for services that the woman was offering. And now they need to be punished with a felony and go to jail and ruin the rest of their life. No. That's ridiculous and stupid. Again, separating the two circumstances where, there are situations where it is actually human trafficking. That's when those laws should absolutely apply and maybe even be a lot stiffer. I'm totally behind that. But your typical situation of person going out on the corner because they want to make some cash, there's no human trafficking there in any shape, form, or fashion. Anyway, I just needed to talk about that because it just falls into the normal nowadays of the way our culture is set up and the way our country is going. We've lost our damn minds. And men right now are so far down the totem pole. We're taking more and more abuse. And it's ridiculous. It's not fair. And a lot of guys are unhappy with it. So that's starting to affect them, and they're starting to see more and more guys start looking at other countries as viable options for what they want for their future. And that's pissing a lot of women off, and it's pissing a lot of liberals off, and a lot of these simps, male feminist guys are jumping in, and of course, because they want to support the women. So you're starting to see more and more attacks come out, and a lot more gross and disgusting accusations being thrown at men who want to go overseas. So don't believe them, folks. Look around. YouTube, there's a whole bunch of videos. You'll find the bad apples if you look for them. There'll be some guys out there that'll talk about where the red light districts are and how much it costs and all this. That's a small sliver. You actually look around for some of the videos of people, the Americans that are living abroad. They're all over the world. They'll tell you everything you need to know. They'll tell you, what the cost of living is, what the perks are, what's good, what's bad, things about the culture, and you can learn a lot. And if you're interested, you can investigate just about anywhere and find somebody who's going to talk about, the place that you're interested in going. Those are the people you need to be listening to, not these other idiots. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, please. If you know anybody who's interested in this content, please, share it to them. And if you want to catch every video I put out, hit the let me try that again in English. Hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you guys in the next video.